Hi guys, I am doing Theme of the Week with Nora, and this week's theme is F. So for F, I'm going to do Farmer. I got these cute little Old Navy shortalls, and for the onesie, it is this John Deere shirt that it's got the little John Deere green tractors, and it's got some yellow butterflies, some pink and green butterflies, yellow and green butterflies, and there's some hearts and like some yellow and green flowers and some like light pink and green flowers. So I thought I'd put this on her for Farmer. I was looking through all my stuff and this jumped out the most at me for Farmer. Like I said, I've got Nora here. Poor girl needs a good change. She is still in her 4th of July outfit. She's one that's kind of a neglected baby. She doesn't really get turned on a lot. If there wasn't honestly the sentimental value behind her, I probably would have already upgraded her to a Real Care 2, 2 Plus, or 3. But there's a lot of sentimental value in her. So for those that don't know the story behind Nora, she actually, there we go, just didn't come off her head. My grandfather passed away in 2005, just after Christmas, and while he was sick, my grandmother always kind of let me pick out my Christmas presents from them. And that year I really wanted, it was back when I was I now have a complete collection, but I was just trying to get one of each race. And I didn't have any Asian babies. And she came up on eBay, and my grandma, just around the time my grandma had asked me, she's like, what do you want for Christmas? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this just came up on eBay. I want her. And so my grandmother's like, well, how much? And I think it was a buy it now. And so my grandma, I did the buy it now. My grandma gave me the money, so I was able to, I can't get the snap. I was able to purchase her. So basically she was the last Christmas present I got from my grandparents, because before my grandfather got sick, I had kind of been noticing signs of dementia within my grandmother. And I had kind of mentioned it to my aunt, who is power of attorney of my grandmother. Medically wise, my mom was financial. And my aunt just kind of blew it off and blew it off. Well, right after my grandfather died, it became very apparent. And after my grandfather died, my grandmother had a bunch of sisters. And one of them was like, you're moving to California with me. And my grandmother went along with it. So as hard as it was, and kind of unexpectedly losing my grandfather, I kind of felt like I lost my grandmother around the same time, because I really didn't see her much after that. She eventually did. My aunt moved her back to Moorhead, Minnesota, which is just across the river from Fargo. They're in different states, they're different cities, but they're right next to each other, and the river's the only thing that separates them. And she moved her to a nursing home there. So I did get to see my grandmother then, but I didn't really get to see her all that often. When we lived there, when we lived in Minot, when we'd come once a month, the kids and I would go see her. Even when we lived in Fargo, my mom and I would make it a point to once a month go see her. So, I mean, the kids did know of her, but with her being in the nursing home, she didn't really remember us much anymore and whatnot. So, Nora is the last Christmas present that I ever got from my grandparents. So she means more to me. After I had my son, I had a bunch of Real Care 2s and 2 Pluses. I sold them all. And I kept At that time, I think I had 2 neonates. I had Skylar and Tiffany, I believe. Are the only ones I had at that time. Yeah, I think that was it. So I sold all my dolls. I only had the 2 neonates to begin with. I sold all my real cares, and the only ones I kept were Nora, Tiffany, and Skylar. And that's because these 3 meant something to me. Tiffany was a birthday present from my best friend, and Skylar was a Valentine's Day present from my husband. And then my husband used him to propose to me. But, so these 3 had the sentimental meaning to me. The other ones were just dolls that I had bought. Then I had seen, when I got Ireland, she was on eBay. I just looked on a fluke for neonates, and she was pretty cheap on eBay. So I got her. I think that was before I had my daughter. I'm pretty sure. I fully can't remember. The Hispanic boy I got in a trade. I had another neonate that a friend was looking for 1 race, and I had 2 of them. So I had purchased some neonates inexpensively here and there. And then the light African girl came from Cynthia, or that we're assuming. Yeah, the Hispanic boy. I remember when I got him. I do not remember when I got him. So, anyways, I cannot think of when I got him, but yeah, she was one of the few 3 after I had my son that survived the purge. And then I kind of slowly, I think it was after I had my daughter, I kind of like slowly started getting a few more neonates. But I hope everybody has a great day, and I will see you all later. Bye.